she might be one of the strongest creatures in all of creation. So how did she even come to exist? Well, it was all thanks to Rimuru's desperation for a companion, because, you know, bro did not have the aura to rizz up baddies in his previous life, hence the virginity. However, after reincarnating as a slime, Rimuru gained the unique skill Great Sage, because skills themselves are born as an expression of the mind, emotions, and the desires of the user. But you have to remember, skills aren't just freebies. In order to possess one of these busted abilities, you also need to have a really strong soul. And now let's look at Satoru Mikami. Yeah, so he works as a worker bee. He never had a girlfriend. His final words were to delete his search history and destroy his hard drive. Okay, yeah, he was a complete bump. Well, ironically enough, having negative aura during life might have been to Rimuru's advantage, because in Japanese culture, there is an urban legend that if you reach 30 years old and are still a virgin, you will become a sage and get magical powers. So Rimuru, who was 37, believed he had ascended beyond that sage level upon death. As stupid as this sounds, I swear it actually helped Rimuru become the strongest entity in existence. Alright, stay with me now. As upon his reincarnation, he heard a voice in his head, the voice of the world. This was a system made by Vildanava, the creator of all things, to manage basically everything in the universe, including skills, evolutions, reincarnation, and all other foundations of life. Because if this voice manages all skills, that of course means this system is the one who brought forth the Great Sage. During the reincarnation process, the voice of the world created a skill based around Rimuru's desire for companionship and the word sage. That's how Rimuru's skill was crafted. Now, if you guys are wondering why does Great Sage sound the same as the voice of the world, well, to give Rimuru, its master, the companionship he needed, Great Sage, whose power is analysis, analyzed the world's voice, causing it to sound like it in order to keep Rimuru company. But at this point, the skill was simply a tool. It existed for the sake of Rimuru to use, which wouldn't be the state it would exist in for long until evolving into an ultimate skill, Raphael. Before that though, we need to look at Great Sage in the most basic way, as from the foundation of it all, it was absurdly broke. At the start, you can look at Great Sage as just a really good AI. It granted Rimuru thought acceleration, the ability to gain information from basically any living thing, carry out multiple thoughts at once, allowed Rimuru to use magic without chanting, and made him be able to basically comprehend anything with the all creation skill. But Great Sage's greatest ability is analysis, which works in tandem with Rimuru's predator skill. You see, when a target is absorbed by Rimuru, Great Sage is able to study it, which is useful to craft, duplicate items, and even replicate and grant Rimuru magic when it's successfully analyzed. I mean, in the first ever episode of the series, we see Rimuru just put out healing potions with 99% potency like it's nothing, and then after absorbing powerful creatures like Ifrit, he gains the ability to use fire. This wouldn't have been possible without the analysis of Great Sage. Later on, it also gains the ability to combine skills and create new ones altogether from the data it's collected. So yeah, this skill is incredibly helpful, as Rimuru wouldn't have been able to do half of what he does without it. Like, you're really telling me without thought acceleration and the ability to analyze situations, whether it be battles or political ones, this man would have been able to start a nation, take on calamity class monsters, and defeat a newly born demon lord? No! It's like Great Sage was there for Rimuru since day one. Like a wife, she supported Rimuru in every action he took, being the voice of reason for acts Rimuru wasn't good at, in essence, completing him. For example, Great Sage was the one to analyze the Demon Lord seed from Geld Senior, which in due time would allow Rimuru to evolve into a Demon Lord for his friends. This would occur during the Falmouth invasion of Tempest, who viewed the Monster Nation as an enemy towards their economic growth and hierarchical power, and so planned to destroy the country and steal its resources, which led them to killing Shion and the Tempest citizens. But Rimuru said, nah, screw all that, and evolved into a Demon Lord via the Harvest Festival. Honestly, I don't think this would have been possible if Great Sage didn't give Rimuru the confidence of that 3.12 high number % chance of it succeeding. So there could have been a chance that Rimuru could never justify himself killing 20,000 soldiers, but that's kind of just my headcanon. But while this evolution was insane for Rimuru, it also did a lot for Great Sage. You see, when Great Sage was born, a dormant will had been inside the skill, but over time it developed due to Rimuru's desire for a companion. However, Great Sage felt powerless time and time again, believing it failed to protect Rimuru during the invasion of Falmouth or when Hinata almost killed him. Also, seeing its master want to become stronger made Great Sage want that for herself too, and so it decided it needed to evolve as well. It kept requesting evolution, but every time the voice of the world would decline it. This is because evolving into an ultimate skill, despite how common it is now, because after evolving 50, everyone has an ultimate skill, but it is still for the most part utterly impossible. Great Sage tried billions of times, but every time their evolution failed. It was only after sacrificing Shizu's OP unique skill Degenerate that using it as sort of a cost, the odds became more likely, and so finally had that 1 in a billion shot of evolving, thus transforming Great Sage into Raphael, Lord of Wisdom. This evolution was almost as impressive as Rimuru becoming a Demon Lord, because my god, is Raphael busted. Everything from its time as Great Sage is still very much there, serving as a key tool for thought processes and analysis, but now they have even more stuff in the arsenal. First of all, remember that super OP skill Great Sage sacrificed in order to evolve? Yeah, that's just part of it now. Even when Rimuru loses something, it just comes back stronger in another form. Degenerate allows for the synthesis and separation, or in other words, the power to split things apart and merge them together. Not to mention gaining the god class power alteration, which allows Rimuru and therefore Raphael the ability to evolve skills. But what's even more insane is the skill to see the future with observation or future sight, which is a form of analysis that Rimuru uses in the second fight against Hinata. Furthermore, the name Raphael comes from the archangel of the same name. This is because all ultimate skills were created by Veldanava. So essentially, this unique skill born from Rimuru's desire to get laid has now kind of become an apostle of God himself. Now, the only other users we know who had Raphael in the past were Veldanava and his wife Lucia, who had a different version of the skill where Rimuru's ultimate skill is Lord of Wisdom, while Lucia's was King of Knowledge. Well, Knowledge King Raphael was a part of the Virtue series of skills Veldanava created, meaning it can only be acquired by someone who embodies that virtue, like Lucia. Rimuru even admits that him receiving a skill like Raphael is almost impossible because he's just a normal dude, and the only reason he received a new version of the skill was due to Great Sage forcing its evolution, leading to a mutated version of the ultimate skill.